that and make sure that we are on track.
Any other questions? Any other questions from the board?
How about judicial other?
Judicial other, this department is primarily front-loaded contracts also. You'll see we have large encumbrances, and the actual expenditures to date are for contractual services.
Anything else?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What fund do we augment from to augment these?
Well, with the increased revenues, we are likely to see for general fund for Nye County, that's where we will augment from. As the increased revenues, we will increase expenses based on that.
And we're going to have that many in the general fund to augment all these?
Yeah, I'm projecting
there
to
is-
see $1.5 million additional revenue this year, at
Okay,
the end of the year.
that's great. But where do you think that's going to come from?
Consolidated tax and property taxes are looking strong through this part of the year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you need an action on this? I see you, John. I'll come to you, I promise.
No, it's just a presentation.
Just, it is? Okay. And next time, let's list it as presentation and not possible action.
Absolutely.
Okay? Okay, so discussion.
I have a question on the water district report. Is that at the last meeting they expressed that 30% of the budget had been spent? But on the second page of the expenditure status report, when you take a look at the grand total, it has the adjusted appropriation of $429,600, and then it goes across, and then it has year-to-date encumbrances of $193,677, and over on the end it shows that 81% of that is encumbered. And so when you take a look at that budget, according to this document, is 81% of the money is encumbered, and leaves only $80,528 and some change for the remainder of the year. And so when it is reported in a public meeting that only 30% of the budget has been expended, that's only a proportion of the expenditures and not.
Are you speaking about an agenda item that was covered under the water board's?
Since you're talking about finance and
No,
so
we're
on.
talking about what's on this agenda item, which is county funds.
Right. And the water district money is inside of the county funds.
On those funds. No,
Oh.
we're not addressing that today.
I'm just asking one question about that encumbrance.
We're not, it's outside the scope of this agenda item. And we'll be happy to talk to you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Patricia Hobson, Hobson, and we're newcomers to Pahrump, and we really enjoy and love it. We're city dwellers otherwise, and so we never had any kind of, how would you say, interest or, in the big cities. But now that we're in our little town of Pahrump, everything is noticeable. I mean, we're interested in everything works, and I was wondering, the list that this to my left, if it's possible that we could have. I mean, she's talking about things that, quote, I don't understand about that. Is it possible that we as citizens can have that list?
Yeah, all of the information is in our backup and is public knowledge, so yeah. Talk to Janie afterwards, she can get you a copy. That's Janie right there. And there's.
That she's the one that she wrote?
Yes,
Yep.
right at the desk there.
Okay.
For your reference.
Thank you.
It's also available on the
Also,
web.
yeah,
On the
it's
web.
also available on the website, if anybody wants to look at it.
Okay, thank you.
That's nyecounty.net.
Okay. So we're done with this item. And next time, please, we'll list as a presentation. Thank you. So the next item is for possible action, this corrective action letter for the annual audit report for that of taxation. Commissioners, You've read your backup, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wickman, second by Commissioner Cox. Further discussion? Any further discussion? Anybody who's read the letter that wants to discuss it? Nobody moving? All in favor?
Aye.
5-0. Item 27. This is 1, to award the bid, and 2, to execute the contract, and 3, to partially fund from 101, and it's all
Mr.
listed.
Chairman?
Yes.
Motion to approve, the, motion to award the bid. Motion to execute the contract. And 3, the funding also
As listed.
as listed.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second it for discussion.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Wickman, second by Commissioner Boraski. Commissioner Boraski, further discussion.
Pam, are these new people? They're not the ones we've had right along?
Yes, this is a new vendor for the county.
Okay.
What are we paying now?
Currently, I believe it's $156,000 a year.
Ooh, found somebody cheap. Commissioners, any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I have a question. It says some of this is taken from the grant fund from the Ryan White Fund. Why, how should I say that? I want to know what the Ryan White Fund covers, and is it appropriate to cover this item under Ryan White's fund?
Absolutely. The Ryan White grant is a grant to assist AIDS patients in the valley. And I understand Health and Human Services has an office within their facility that is cleaned under this contract. And per the Ryan White grant, they are allowed to charge office expenses and office cleanings to this grant.
Well, I think that's really stretching it, considering this is to help AIDS patients. And I think that office should be covered. It doesn't say what portion, basically, but that office should be covered under the same thing we cover the other offices under. That's just my general opinion, so I'm not going to support this because I have a problem with whether this is actually kosher or not. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Nelson?
Amy Nelson, N-E-L-S-O-N. I just want to say that about 6 months ago, I was in the ladies' room and I broke my pearl bracelet, and pearls went bouncing all over the room. And about 6 months later, in December, when I was in there, lo and behold, I found a couple of those pearls, which tells me about the cleaning. If that room had been cleaned really good in 6 months, I would have found my pearls.
And we have a new guy now.
I know, so hopefully they do a better job, and hopefully there's some way to find out if they're doing a good job, because obviously somebody missed what they were doing for 6 months. So I just wanted to put that in there, and hopefully it'll make a difference. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'll start dropping fake pearls around.
Yeah,
That way, we'll see if they get the pearls. All right.
the pearl
All in
statue.
favor?
I
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
4-1.
I'm not opposed to cleaning, I'm opposed to taking it out of that fund.
Right, I understand. Public petitioner, item 28, discussion of deliberation, consider relinquishing sponsorship and 30% of the congregate and homebound nutrition grant. County manager, do you want to frame this for us? Or,
I don't think it's the county
Commissioner wanna make
manager's
a-
idea.
yeah, well, then, commissioners, do you want to come talk, Dave, on this? Come on up. Unless commissioners are ready to make a motion. Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna take a break right after this? Yes. Comfort.
Yes, Dave Hall for the record, H-A-L-L. This was brought to the board, Mr. Chairman. Amargosa Valley wishes to run their own senior operation, senior center, and we started to form our own 501c3, which we are just about finished with doing. We'd like to ask for the grant money that was divided up between the county, between Beatty, Tonopah, and Amargosa. We are looking to have the Amargosa portion transferred to our town at this point. The background behind all this is that the senior aging really only allocates money for meals. So any money in excess of what it costs for the food and a little bit of preparation has to be subsidized by somebody. Our town has stepped to the plate. They are doing all the maintenance expenses on the building, like electricity, propane, and other things. Plus, a lot of our members are also volunteering to do all the rest of this work. So we have 2 staff members at this time that, we're trying to come up with money, and we really think that, the money that Division of Aging provides us can be better spent just in taking care of, the meals and the preparation of those meals, and we'd like to do the rest. So this is Diane Brigham, and she's been working diligently on, getting the 501c3 finished up, and Diane, if you want to say a few words, kind of give them, there you go.
As Dave said, I'm Diane Brigham. I've worked with the Senior Center for about 6 years now as paid staff from 2011 to 2013 and volunteering. We raise about $14,000 a year through our fundraising in Amargosa. Our clientele pays for their meals more than the other centers do. And we feel that if we could get rid of some of the administrative costs, we can run our own center more efficiently, more effectively, especially more cost effectively. Hence the item on your agenda. We have been to the town. They approved sponsoring this.
Okay,
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman, I have,
Mr. Wakeman, go ahead.
yeah, I love it when towns step to the plate and want to take care of their own stuff, I really do. Unfortunately, with, from correspondence that I received from our on-staff senior director and who applied for the grant, the correspondence back and forth between her and the Department of Health and Human Services, if we de-obligate the money that we're receiving in this grant, it means it goes back to the state. We can't just turn it over to the town. However, this money is used for the communities that are listed in the grant application, which includes Amargosa Valley. However, Danielle Cooper stated in here that NICE shouldn't request the de-obligation until Amargosa is fully ready to continue service so that there's no interruption. So once your 501c3 is in place and you've had the obligation or you've had the opportunity to apply, then we can drop that from ours. So it won't happen with this one. Is this what you understand also, Savannah? You're looking at me funny. Am I misunderstanding what I'm reading?
No, that makes sense to me, Commissioner.
Yeah. So the point right now is that we're just now receiving this money and the state has provided this money for all those communities. But if we de-obligate the amount that's supposed to go to Amargosa right now, we have to send it back to the state. We can't give it to you directly. So what they're suggesting is that you apply as well, and then we'll drop that from our application for the next round.
Cycle.
Yeah, for the October cycle.
Okay.
Otherwise, neither one of us are going to get it for this time.
Is there a motion in that?
May I?
Yes,
add to that?
please. I'd like to.
We were told these were the steps to go through this process, and that if it's de-obligated and the town is willing to sponsor, then Division of Aging can award that portion of the money back to the town.
Yes, they may, but I don't think they told you about the lag time. Because until you have your 501c3 status.
If the town is willing to be the sponsor,
Okay.
we don't have to have that.
Okay, that part I didn't get clarified in here. But there's still gonna be a lag time because they are granting the funds now. And if we de-obligate that, that means we have to give it back in order for them to give it to you. But the application process hasn't gone through and they've already done their grants for this time around. So your next opportunity is October.
I understand that, and I understand that we're halfway through the federal fiscal year. We ask to have action taken by the Board of Trustees on this in November, so we would be closer to a full fiscal year of having this done. Things have been held up for various reasons.
Yeah.
and
That's what you
so-
have to count on.
So we're asking, so that we can save the money, we're asking to go about this way. The administrative costs are eating the program alive. The program is not viable the way it's structured now.
Yeah, and I understand that as well. I'm just saying that the Division of Aging is telling us there's gonna be a big lag time between when we de-obligate it and say we don't want this because Amargosa is gonna apply for it. And by the time Amargosa applies for it and gets it, you won't be receiving the benefit of what we have now.
So in your estimation, like most dealings with this, it'd probably take 3 to 4 months to probably get this done, so we would be unfunded for that period of time.
Yeah,
Just
there's
as
gonna be-
in a guess,
Yeah,
so.
so I realize that the money, that what you're getting now out of this is probably not enough, and it's probably not used the way you'd like to see it used, but we have to use it in that fashion so that we get that little bit anyway. Otherwise, if we send that back and say we don't want it, then whatever time it takes for them to approve your applications, you're gonna be that length of time without any. So even though it's, I believe you, I believe your ability to be more efficient with it is, I don't argue that at all. I'm just saying I don't wanna see the lag, that period of time go by without any help at all.
It wasn't our understanding that we would have to reapply for these, that sponsorship could be transferred to the town.
Yeah,
And
that's not what
it
they're
sounds like
telling me.
we're talking two different processes than what we were told about, a reapplication process that was not talked about before.
Yeah, and that's what I have right here. This is, you know, she provided what would have to take place, and you guys have to go through the application process, just like we do. And it also, she says in here, it'll probably take a while because we've never directly granted funds to Amargosa Valley before.
Okay. Commissioner Wickman, is there a motion in there?
Well, I hate to make this motion because I don't want these folks to think that I don't agree with what they're
Oh,
trying to do.
we understand the problem. We just need a clarification on the process. More than
Right.
anything, we just need the exact steps to follow. And if we can get to that point, then I think we'll move forward on that. We were kind of misguided in the fact
Well,
that we
it
thought we
is-
could get just the funds turned over to the town, but
Yeah, and
But
it's
that's not
not
the case.
misguided. This stuff with grants is extremely difficult to follow the steps. But Danielle Cooper is very helpful, and so is Shirley Trummel. Shirley Trummel is extremely helpful. So if you talk to those two, I'm sure they'll get you through the process. And then our next application,
Right.
we just won't apply for the help for Amargosa. We'll leave it up to you.
So commissioners, we could take no action, everything would remain the same, and happy to support you in the future, but
Yeah, I just.
is anybody want to make a motion other than taking no action?
Mr. Chair,
No.
may I suggest that we table this till the next meeting?
Okay.
We can clarify these issues, get
Give me-
specific direction from the Division of Aging on what their process would be, how long it would take, and
How to get it done.
answer those questions,
I like that much
and
better.
make sure,
that as a motion,
and bring that
please.
back, and then we can
All
make
right.
sure we've got all that covered.
Motion
And
to table till
We'll
the
do
next
it,
meeting.
we'll do it
Second.
and the Tonopah meeting for,
All right.
for
First meeting tomorrow. Motion by Koenig to table till the Tonopah meeting, second by Wickman, so we're planning to table this for now.
thank you.
better.
More
You
than
want to
you should.
speak?
Thank you.
Come on
Yeah,
out.
thank you.
I'll get back to
Because
you.
we have a motion and a second, we'll take a vote in a moment.
Feels strange having to come up here without yelling. My question is this, and like I said, I'm new in the area. Since we've been here, first thing we did was join the senior citizens being retired, and so we wanted to get in with, and over there on Basin. And I was wondering, the questions that they're going to, is that all allocated to us
No,
here?
Pahrump Senior Center is separate, it has its own 501c3.
Okay, so none of these funds can go to us either?
They,
Not under this grant.
they apply for and receive their own grants.
Oh, okay, Okay.
State your name for the record, please.
Oh, Patty Hobson, HOBSON.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Table till next meeting. All right, folks. Yes, we are going to take a 10-minute break because we know the next item is going to be a long one. So let's everybody
Yeah,
get comfortable.
thank
We still have plenty of